In this section, we're going to talk about how genes are regulated. This is 9.5 from the OpenStax biology book. So to be useful, genes need to actually be expressed as traits. So gene expression, which is those genes getting expressed as a trait, involves making proteins. Gene expression involves looking at what genes are being produced and in what quantity and at what rate. So there's some parts of your body, for instance, your kidneys, and your kidneys' primary function is to wash the blood and get it clean. And there's certain parts of your DNA that need to be expressed to make that happen. Remember that all cells in your body have copies of everything, but they're not going to use everything. Certainly the kidneys are different than the liver, and that's different than the heart, and that's different from the skin. So certain genes will be expressed and certain genes will be shut off. So there's a few ways that genes are turned off. Proteins can bind on a gene and block its transcription. You can have proteins can block different assembly of new proteins in the ribosomes, and enzymes can break down the DNA in the cytoplasm. So cells will turn off certain genes at different times in response to the environment at different times too. So one example of a gene that gets turned off is the ability to digest dairy. So many people, as they become older adults, they are no longer babies. They don't need the ability to digest dairy. So most people lose their lactase enzyme as they get older. Your body shuts off that ability to digest it as well. So prokaryotes and eukaryotes actually have different gene expression. So prokaryotes are bacteria. I know you know that at this point, but they're bacteria, and they no longer need a protein, transcription basically stops. So there is no nucleus there, so there's no real, not as much movement and needed by the RNA, so transcription just stops when a gene isn't needed. It's pretty simple. But eukaryotes, they're a lot more complicated. There's a lot of different ways that your body can stop gene expression in eukaryotes. The DNA, transcription can be stopped when DNA is uncoiled, or gene expression can stop when RNA is transcribed, or when RNA goes into the cytoplasm, when RNA is translated, or even after the protein is made, it can just be not expressed. So there's lots of different ways that this can occur in your body. And that's the necessary parts for 9.5.